Hello there and welcome
to the new channel.
Here to help you see
the new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansada.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Argamid.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebastillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhino.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice for beer.
Sir Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldon.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Hieronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
Mine is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
Aftershift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Healthline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID Stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and more.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, you are watching the new channel where we help you to see the new you. I'm Leo Bryan, and this is Foreign Affairs. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the new channel and welcome back to Foreign Affairs. I am Leo Bryan, your host. It's good to be here and really excited for today's guest because I'll tell you what really excites me about this. Personally, about a year and a half ago, as I've mentioned to everyone here on the show on numerous episodes, I personally began my own journey as an entrepreneur, businessman, working with a food production manufacturing company that my girlfriend and I started. And through the process, I've had to learn to put on a bunch of hats, had to learn a bunch of responsibilities, had to learn a bunch of new techniques and skills that I really didn't know before. And so I'm really excited for this week's guest because he's someone who's involved in training the CEOs. He helps people learn the basics and techniques of entrepreneurship and business management, and then to become the top dog, the top level authority in any company is the CEO. And so I'm obviously keen to people that are like this, learning the information, learning whatever they have to share. And I'm always here to listen to these type of people. So I'm really excited to have our guest. So please welcome to the show, everybody, Jonathan Petalver. Jonathan.
Hi. Hi, good morning. Good morning, Lee.
Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the one hearing this, Lee, but I think there's a feedback or echo.
There might. I'm not. I'm hearing you very clear, and I'm not sure if. No, it checks out on my end, but is it when I speak that you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear you well, but I'm getting two sounds like there's an echo.
Okay. Well, there's only one of me here, so I don't know who the other person is. It's doubling my voice. And maybe it might be on the connection. So let's see. Yeah. All right. Well, is it manageable?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
There's just a bit delay on my part. Anyways, yeah.
Don't worry. We've got all the patience and chill in the world on this show. So if we got to delay a bit, we'll delay a bit, and no pressure answering questions. We've got all the patience and chill in the world on this show. So if we got to delay a bit, we'll delay a bit, and that's fine. No pressure answering questions. Jonathan, what I'm gonna do is every time I say something, I'll do a 5-second countdown here, and then I'll know that you're hearing it right then. That's fine. We'll manage.
Yeah. So there, I'm still hearing what you have just said. So there's a bit delay. Yeah. All right, it's okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show. And to start, can you give us your background, how you got wherever you started, and then how you transitioned, or the journey to becoming a trainer of CEOs?
Sure. Yeah, my background basically is I'm into executive coaching, but most of my works before is mostly on the educational part. So I do lectures in some universities doing MBA programs in entrepreneurship and marketing. And until such time that most of my students who are top managers or part of the management committee, executive committee, or the CEOs themselves ask me to do strategic programs for them. So it's really a transition on my part in terms of becoming, like from an educator point of view to a strategic executive coach. Especially now in these challenging times, Lee, mostly CEOs are really, they are really looking for support and mentoring in a way in terms of really providing alignment of their processes and then helping them, of course, move their products and develop their people as well.
So for you, it was very much a result of your previous teacher life. And then there was this residual effect of the people who you had taught needed something more, or they needed more specificity in their teachings. And so they came to you.
Yes, yes. Actually, it's really a transition. Even before pandemic, when we started, let's say, doing development programs, right? Instead of being in an institution, educational institution, we moved from the traditional, institution, learning institution, into the real world. So remember, because when you do your MBA programs, of course, these are real life, real world situations. So rather than teaching it, let's say, to students, this time we really teach it in the real world managers who are making, like decision making for the organization.
To jump off to get on a specific question and noting, because I was very interested about something you just said. So during the pandemic, what have you noticed, for example, are some common concerns among CEOs? And the reason I'm interested to ask is obviously I want to know what the CEOs are dealing with. But, I think for a lot of people, if you turn on the news or you talk to people, everyone hears about employees getting
Yes.
laid off or losing work.
Yes.
Everyone hears about individual, private contractors losing their work and whatnot. What's up with the CEOs? What are they struggling with, and what's going with them? What have you noticed?
Correct. Yeah, that's a good point, Lee, because since last year, remember, we were badly hit. The lockdown, if you remember, it's basically like a year ago. And 3 months after that, because as, my company as well, me as a CEO myself, we also struggled the first 90 days, right? There's this what we call the 90-day burn period that had happened, right? Because, everything is new to us, right? No one even planned that there will be a pandemic like this, right? So after 90 days, we have to fix ourselves. Then we have to go back to our clients because if I remember it right, the first quarter that time, I was able to do a strategic planning session with an airline company here in the Philippines, right? And then we already planned, like, this is the direction and all, right? Then after that, last week of January, then 2 months after that, or less than, then the pandemic came, right? So they have to change plans. They have to change plans because there's a new ingredient right now, or a critical success factor for them to achieve their goals, right? For the specific year, 2020. So basically, when I spoke to these CEOs or top management, bottom line, Lee, is always to drive results. The basic struggle of CEOs is to drive results. Because remember, with this pandemic, there are three things that have been affected: product or service, process, and our people. So CEOs are now looking for ways and means on how to sustain their operations amidst this pandemic. So they have to juggle these three critical success factors: how to move the product with the new economy, the digital economy, the non-face-to-face and all, how to align their existing processes with the new process and further develop it. And of course, it's developing people. Because you see, a lot of people, for sure you're aware of this, a lot of people, those times now when we have started the pandemic, when the pandemic is starting, are facing a big challenge, because they are on what we call their adversity continuum. How to will they avoid it? How will they cope? How will they try, or how will they survive, manage, and thrive in those pandemic? But of course, bottom line, CEOs would always focus on driving results. So basically, the challenge is the mindset of the people. Because how can you let your people, because basically what's the decision? The decision of some CEOs are either to laid off people, as you mentioned, or there was even a case wherein they have to cut costs, salaries being cut 20, 30, 50%. As a CEO, it's really a big challenge, because how can you because you need people, right? You need people to rebound. But if you will lose the people because you can no longer pay them, they will be laid off, then you really have to make a decision. So CEOs are tested to be as confident, to be as disruptive, to make decisions during those times, or even up to this time, Lee.
Did you find, carrying that point about CEOs, because I feel the same way. If someone is at the CEO level of a company, they're all about the decisions. They're all about, we're going this way or we're going that way. Like there's no, analysis. There's someone paid to analyze, paid to decide, right? That's what they're paid for. And did you notice, with CEOs, if there was, how did the CEOs you spoke with deal with the uncertainty? Because to me, the big elephant in the room of the pandemic, of the volcanic eruption of Taal, of the typhoons, is not literally like the typhoon or the pandemic itself. It's that people don't know what's happening next, right? And so how did the CEOs, deal with that, being such decision makers? Like, what was it like for them to maybe not be able to make a decision for a while?
Because you have to remember, Lee, CEOs, right? CEOs are always accountable, right, to their board of directors. Because you see, CEOs, the CEOs that I've been doing consulting with are not owners of the businesses, right? There are big investors, putting in their investment and money and capital, and the CEO is really tasked to manage those resources. That's why this is a really, this is a big test for each CEO to really make decisions. I call it the 3Ds of a CEO that we saw. Decisions, like they have to be decisive, they have to be disruptive, and bottom line, they have to deliver. It's always about driving results, Lee. CEOs, the way I see them, they really have to focus on their numbers, because every time they will meet their stakeholders, right, or their shareholders, it's all about the numbers. So the more that they have to be strategic, the more they have to really take care of their resources, and they really have to push the right buttons. That's why the things I saw the last few months is, with the resources that they have, the limited resources they have to optimize and maximize their operations and work 2-3 steps ahead, right? So that they'll be able to bring the operations once again to where it should be. So it's really challenging. But, the good news is CEOs that I've been, dealing with right now are now not just avoiding, coping, or surviving, but they are now on the stage of managing and thriving in this new digital economy. That's one of the best things that ever happened to them.
And have you seen, has that been one of the big trends, that a lot of the companies that, the CEOs of companies that you are working with, the digital switch has been the big pivot for them?
Yes. Actually, there's a framework that we are giving them, if I may share with you, because most companies right now, of course, with the new economy, they are scared. They lose their confidence to continue, right, their strategies. What they have started, months before COVID. No, but one thing good is, before they really, before they move forward, they really have to take 2-3 steps backward to see the whole situation. So CEOs right now, if there's one skill, that they would like their staff to have, or their employees to have, is that, what we call the entrepreneurial leadership. CEOs are looking for people in their organization. Actually, 3 critical skills, right? Number 1 is they have to be digital right now. They have to be digital. Number 2, CEOs are looking for people who have the entrepreneurial skills. And number 3, with the new economy that we have, CEOs are looking for people within their organization who has the global management competency. That's why digital, as you hit the nail on the head there, Lee. Digital is now a skill that has to be employees has to adapt into that digital skill. That's why if you see most directions right now is more of a collaboration of being digital. Meaning to say, unless we become a digital brand, if we are a company, we can never sustain or compete in this what we call the new digital economy. So digital is no longer just we have to have it, but it's really a must right now in any organization that I've seen, at least in my case.
Absolutely agree. It's been it's funny because digital, technically came around and showed its head about 25 years ago, but the actual living in the ecosystem all the time, most of the time, just about 100%, has been a huge result of this pandemic and the shutdowns and whatnot. And so that I see what you mean on that pivot. Talking about previous times and the current issues that the CEOs are dealing with, how have you ended up kind of adjusting, or are there any parts of your teachings that you've had to morph or kind of develop differently now for the pandemic, or have you found that your tried and true values are still holding tried and true during the pandemic?
Actually, there are only three things. Let's say you as a CEO, there are only three things that we always have to look at, right? As I always tell people or clients that I have, the impact area of this pandemic, of this COVID-19 in our business, basically is what? Product, moving our product or service, aligning our process or developing new processes because of the pandemic. And of course, the most important thing, if not the most important thing, is developing our people having the right mindset. So what we do is, for us to develop programs, customized programs for each and every company, one important ingredient, as I mentioned, that is a must for each one, is to have that entrepreneurial leadership skill. Because unless you wear the hat of an entrepreneur going into the workplace, you will see things the same. I mean, pre-COVID, you still see that this is just how we should move the product. This is how our process should be and develop our people. Because that's the big difference, Lee, right now. I know it's very challenging for each one, but it's now a must. That's why since last quarter of last year, 2020, we are moving from one company to another and really building the foundation once again, right? It's really a leadership foundation, core leadership foundation, so that each and every person in the organization will think, will feel, and will do things just like how a CEO will do things. So it's all about that entrepreneurial leadership, Lee.
Got it. Well, I keep talking about your teachings and the values that you teach and work with to the CEOs. The reason you have a collection of these teachings and it's offered in a system called the Academy. Am I correct?
Yes.
Could you please give us a little breakdown of what's the Academy about? And we also, I believe, have a video that you have brought. So once you've explained it, let's watch that video too. But please explain what the Academy is all about.
Yeah, actually, the Academy, that's why we call it the Academy. THE stands for Training Hub for Entrepreneurship. So when we talk about entrepreneurship, when we offer it to companies, right, we want them to become corporate entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial officers, just like the CEO, right, corporate entrepreneur officer. Because the basic foundation really is to change their mindset as an entrepreneurial leader. They need to really be in the workplace wearing the same hat of a CEO. Because you see, with what pandemic did to us, everyone has to be on their toes. They have to work 2, 3 times, 4 times faster so that they will really preserve the resources that they have. You see, in business, right, any move we make, there's cost to it. That's why CEOs right now are very, very particular that every time they meet, You have to make it a point every time we meet on the boardroom, you have a specific strategy or a program that will use our remaining resources but will optimize and bring us the revenues that we need. Else if it will not work that way, we will start to lose people once again, either laid off. Because you see, the most important thing right now is to take care the morale of the people, right? Unless you increase their morale and unless you keep them focused on doing their job, then it's really hard for a CEO to bring all these people together once again.
Got it. It's very, very good points. How about we watch that video showing about the academy?
Sure.
Press play.
Welcome to the Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship in this new digital economy. People from all walks of life, students, professionals, and online entrepreneurs, direct sellers, online dropshippers are now looking for innovative ways and means to maximize the power of this new digital economy and learn from home and earn from home as well. Remember that there are 3 critical success factors for you to be successful in this new digital economy. Number 1 is your entrepreneurial mindset. Number 2, your entrepreneurial mastery. And number 3 is your entrepreneurial management. 3 questions that you have to ask yourself. What are you passionate about? Number 2, what are the relative skills that you have in this new economy? And number 3, what do you think are the expectations of your partners or your clients or your customers? We at the Academy offer you valuable MasterClass courses that will develop you and hone you to become a champion entrepreneur online. We want you to become a digital brand in this new economy. So click the link below and learn more about the 4 MasterClass courses that we offer in entrepreneurship, in entrepreneurial management, digital entrepreneurship, and digital selling. So again, I'm your coach, Jonathan Petalver of the Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship in this new digital economy. Welcome and see you in class.
Good stuff, Jonathan. I like it. I'm interested. When do people have to have a certain level of educational studies beforehand to start something like this, or do you welcome people who have maybe say no background that are totally beginners?
You know that's a very, very interesting question, Lee. You know what? Pre-COVID, the videos and all that I did are all for academic use, right? Because I teach at the MBA school, in some universities. So basically, the materials I have 2-3 years ago are for my own learning experience, learning reference, right? Because you see, Lee, for sure you've been here in the Philippines for quite some time. There's a special way to educate Filipinos, right? You have to be creative, you have to be animated. Of course, our tonality plays a major role, right? And what I did is, and interestingly right now, since last year, the learning reference that I use specifically for MBA programs, right, is now a product. It's now a digital product, of which, as you mentioned, whether, what's interestingly, whether you are a grade 12 student or a CEO of a certain company, the programs that we develop can be adaptive and can be applied. It's a matter of really them attending my class every week, 30 to 45 minutes a week, because you see the programs that we develop, they can be accessed for a year. Like digital entrepreneurship management. So it will teach you about the basic of entrepreneurship. You can access it for a year. This is non-face-to-face, right? So grade 12 students are accessing it now. So it's now being used by some schools again as a learning reference. Instead of books, the physical books, they're using the videos that we develop with assessments, multiple choice, with certifications and all for a year. Now, one thing good about that is when they attend the weekly session, of which, let's say, every Wednesday is for grade 12, the way we run it is specifically the same learning reference as what we did for MBA and professionals. but the way we run it is how a grade 12 should understand and accept the principles and theories of entrepreneurship for that case. So going back to your question, in fact, even OFWs, right, the overseas Filipino workers or caregivers from outside the Philippines, it's okay. This is what Coach John is always telling them. You don't need to have this. Remember, in an ordinary MBA class, right? You need to pass the exam on top of that. You need to have a 4-year degree course to attend an MBA program. But here in our master classes, it's more of education and equipping them and immediately applying what we taught them so that it will enable them. If there's one thing that me as an educator, is fortunate, during the pandemic, it really doubled or tripled our students, basically because we were able to not just educate and equip them, which is what we normally do in a normal classroom, but this time we enabled them. We introduced them to $100 or less, online businesses that they can start with. So you see, it's the story is not just educate, equip, and empower the students, but ultimately enable them. And a classic, interesting story is our OFWs, our kababayans from Asia who started enrolling for $10, $20 MasterClass course for a year, has now already turned that kind of investment, learning, to now earning and bringing it back home, like Iloilo, Cebu, Visayas, and Mindanao. So yeah, anyone are welcome, everybody's welcome. And yeah, because for me, everyone deserves quality education, and what's important is we help each other, work with each other and make it successful for each one to really be as confident as ever as we enter this new digital economy.
That sounds great, Jonathan. I can only imagine that with the pandemic, with the the lockdowns that went on, I noticed people started selling a bunch of milk tea and coffee online.
Yes.
And a lot of people started going back to finding educational, improvement, sharpening the saw, if you will, ways
Yes.
to improve their education, or maybe start a new education or go down a new path.
Yes.
So I am both not surprised and also very happy to hear that you have many new people in it, and especially OFWs. We love the OFWs here.
Yes.
And to see that people are making taking a shot at improving their situation and getting better at something that's definitely going to benefit them immediately. That's just great to hear.
Yes, and Lee, what the Academy offers really, as what you saw in the video, is even OFWs, let's say grade school, they just finished grade school, grade 5, grade 6. It doesn't matter now. In this new digital economy, it's about focusing only on things that matter, right? That's why CEO, corporate entrepreneur, of course, some of us are fortunate to be, like in a workplace, having the management position, the title and all. But you see, chunk of, for sure, you already have the heart of a Filipino, Lee, for sure. And I believe, personally, that for this country to be great once again, everybody has to wear the hat of an entrepreneur, whether you are a domestic helper, a CEO, a real CEO in the workplace, but you need to have that entrepreneurial discipline, as what I will always tell them. That's why when you attend the masterclass programs that we have, even though you are undergraduate, we make it a point that you will have the confidence of a CEO, especially you mentioned about online selling. Just imagine, Lee, there are about thousands or hundreds of thousands who have been laid off, and first thing in mind is, I want to do business, as if it's easy. It's not. But of course, they don't have the time to educate themselves 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, attend, like some good schools and all. They eventually jump on into that. That's why the Academy will complement them in terms of just aligning them, right? Aligning them. Like, for instance, I saw that you have a product, right? So the masterclass will teach you how to brand it. What's the right branding, let's say, for your Pokli, right? I saw it, right? How should the Pokli be branded? How should it be marketed? How should it be sold? Now, once you attend the program, a $10 program, you'll see, oh, we're doing that. So that's what it means. Oh, that's the technical term. Oh, that's the account name for that. Okay. Then if you want to expand, how to get people, expand it, get the network, get, let's say, distributors outside of Manila, for instance, outside of Antipolo, your area, for instance, then, this is how to manage. When you attend the Entrep Management Masterclass, another $10, Lee, you can access for a year. Oh, this is how to manage a customer. So it gives you the confidence, because you see, people, the interest, they want to do business. They want to do business, but they don't know where to start, how to start. But they have the money. They really have the money, but they're not just confident, because they will always feel, I'm not, I haven't taken, any course in business management. You don't have to. You don't have to. What we offer you now is really a crash course. It's an MBA for entrepreneurship that you can attend to, with the new economy. If you cannot attend the live, then there are archives. You can watch the, like this. So that's what we do. Very, very, very exciting, because we're now on we reached the 5,000 student, no, landmark. And this year we're looking at 100,000, and we feel we can make it, because we now have grade 12. Courses are now offered as a reference in colleges. Then you have the OFWs, their families, organizations, associations, and of course professionals in the workplace are taking it as well.
That sounds great. Well, Jonathan, let's keep talking about this. We got to hit our first commercial break.
Sure.
We'll be back with Jonathan Petalver explaining more about the Academy. You guys are watching Foreign Affairs on the new channel. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Foreign Affairs on the new channel. I'm Lee O'Brien, your host, and just great to hear these words and experiences from Jonathan. Seeing so much hope, so much potential for such a great future here in the Philippines and way beyond, especially when we're talking about OFWs and talking about silver linings during the pandemic. One was many people were turning to education. Also, that's a segue to the other silver lining, which is what you're watching right now, the new channel. As I've mentioned before, the new channel, this has many shows. What you're watching right now, Foreign Affairs, is one of over 30 shows now on the new channel, which was discovered and created by Apple and Lloyd back in the month of April last year as a way to pivot and endure the pandemic and lockdown, and now boasts more than 30 different shows, all sorts of interests, all sorts of different topics that are covered, and all sorts of different shows that people can watch, not only here in the Philippines, but around the world. So it's very much a dynamic selection of shows. And some of the shows that we're talking about, I'm going to have to read them off a list because there's too many. Like, let's just be honest. So some of the shows we're talking about is Life Turnaround Stories on the show U-Turn, which shows Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. The Stage is Yours on the show TNC The Talk, Mondays at 12 noon. Have an Awesome Day. The show Awesome Days on Mondays at 2:30 p.m. The Home Buyer Show guides you to a property every Monday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Laugh and Learn from the Puppet Stories every Monday at 5:30 p.m. Notable personalities and their stories are on the show The Big Picture. That is the flagship show for this channel, Mondays to Fridays, 7 p.m. And then there's Listen to This Generation on the show The Millennial Voice, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Human Resources and Management on the show HR Hotline, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12. Well Home is the show that brings a well life, Tuesdays and Saturdays at 2:30 p.m. The Journey Continues on the show Moving on Business, Tuesdays and Fridays, 4 p.m. Learn from the Market Leader. Market Leader is a show that shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. It's Never Too Late for a Mental Shift is the name of the show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. U.S. Wednesdays and Fridays, 10:30 a.m. Philippines. 7:30 p.m. U.S. makes it Pacific time for those checking at home. Money and More is a show that shows every Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Philippines, 5:30 a.m. USA time. Cybersecurity is Key on the show Cyber Next, Wednesdays at 12 noon. Health is Wealth on the show Healthline, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Coping and Coupling on the show Couple Goals, Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Chill and Booze on the show After Shift, every Wednesday and Friday at 8:30 p.m. Excuse me. Your Rights on the show Yola, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Emerging, I always get that one wrong. Emerging in Practical Technologies on the show Tech U, every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Magbenta Bumili at Tumulong, TNC Marketplace, Fridays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Dream, Achieve, Nurture, and Inspire on Danny Art Show, every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Celebrate on the show Women at Work, 9 a.m. on Saturdays. And Time to Hear Positive News on the show COVID Stories, Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. The Family Business is a show where it's everyone's business, Saturdays at 4 p.m. Beauty Beyond What Your Eyes Can See, the very popular show Usapang Beauty, Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. Success Stories on the show The Fourth Project, Saturdays at 6 p.m. Dubai time, 10 p.m. Philippines. Strategize and win in life through the show Win Within, every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. You can also catch our TNC Originals One Day, TNC Arena, TNC PressCon, and TNC Town Hall, Saturdays at 7 p.m., co-hosted by TNC founders Lloyd and Apple. Town Hall is where we talk to you, our valued audience. And of course, you can learn together across borders on the show that you're currently watching, Foreign Affairs. We stream every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Philippines time. And there's more upcoming shows, so follow hashtag TNC Now on Facebook and YouTube and allow your passion to inspire you. And together, let us hashtag see the new you. So I would like to bring Mr. Jonathan, Coach Jonathan, back here onto the set. Coach.
Hi there. Yeah, congratulations, Lloyd
Welcome
Luna, for those programs,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah, great.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like when I read the list to think about, I've been with the TNC now for about 6 months, on and off, streaming. And I remember back in October when I was reading, the list was like half that long. And it just builds and builds and builds. And so it's really great to see that, and it's really a testament to Lloyd and Apple, the founders of TNC, and really the effort and talent that both of them have here is definitely paying off.
And Lloyd,
so
to add to that, Lee, just to commend Lloyd on that. Lloyd is the CEO, the new CEO in this digital economy. Because you see, he became disruptive, right? He became decisive, and the goal is he's so focused to drive results, not just deliver results, but to drive results. As you mentioned, there's 100% increase from 15 to 30, and of course, the next is of course the viewership and all, and of course Lloyd and the rest of the team knows about it, because you really have to pivot. But without the entrepreneurial leadership in you, it can never happen. That's why it has to be cascaded down to the grassroots, Steve. Down to the grassroots. Unless each and every one in the organization has that entrepreneurial leadership to be as decisive, to be as disruptive, and driver of results, then we can see the new us, just like the new channel, right? The new you.
Right. You nailed it. I mean, it's truly, it's truly a testament. The success is truly a testament to what they've done, and
Yes.
it's a great endorsement for them to have the gentleman whose skill set is actually teaching the CEOs and teaching people how to pivot, how to adjust, how to be that decisive results generating CEO. And yeah, they've definitely done it.
Correct.
So Jonathan, I'd like to ask, let's continue with the Academy, and
Sure.
I'd like to know, what can someone expect as a trajectory? Like when they start, what are like the levels, and where would they start, and where could they confidently end up?
Yeah, the mission primarily of the Academy is, first we educate you, then you become an entrepreneur. Then you go back to the Academy so that you'll be the coach to teach the new students, educate them, and become entrepreneurs. So that's how the cycle goes on, Lee. So what do they expect? Number one, of course, there are 9 modules, right? Courses, right? These are under the 3 MasterClass courses in entrepreneurship, in digital entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurial management. So these are 3 MasterClass courses that you can take for a year, anytime, anywhere, at your most convenient time. You can spend 30 an hour, 15 to an hour, 15 minutes to 60 minutes a day. As I said, you have a year access on that. And there are videos, learning videos. You can pause and play, and then you can take down notes. There are handouts, and then there will be assessments, and then there will be certificates of completion upon full participation of the program. So we have, you will learn about how to brand yourself, how does entrepreneurs, develop their marketing strategies, how do entrepreneurs sell, because salespeople are far, far different from salespreneurs, entrepreneurial selling, and then how to manage your customer, your day-to-day operations. Transformational leadership is very, very important. And now that we are now in the new digital economy, we teach people also how to digitalize your product and services, how to create the right platform, digital, and how to really create that business canvas or model so that you will sustain your revenue growth, right? Because the name of the game now is to really find that business model, Lee, on really what's the best business model and technology that rightfully fits the product or services that you want to sell or promote online. Yeah.
Got it. And what, just kind of like a tangent, going back to our OFW friends.
Yes.
Do you find they have a specific focus compared to, say, Filipinos that are here in country? Are they responding to something differently, being that they're not here, or maybe being that they're in a different environment?
Yeah, surprisingly, Lee, I have this client, I have this partner, ZY, right? They call themselves ZY. They are an online clothing drop shipping business, right? So they have both affiliate marketing and drop shipping as a business model. Surprisingly, majority of their sales, production, or revenue are coming from the OFs. Because you see, OFs are very, very, should we say, smart, and of course, they're the ones who would like to go back home, right? But of course, we always tell them, if you want to go back home, then you and your family has to start something that can augment the salary that you are getting, outside the Philippines, right? So they're very, 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 very. Just imagine, Lee. Remember Tuesdays Thursdays and Saturdays, I do hold their 8 to 9 a.m. master classes. So there are OFs from the Middle East, like Asia, like Africa, as far as Europe. Just imagine the time, but 8 to 9, right? So they are really that focus and really have the heart, the heart set and the skill set to change their lives. So going back to your question, OFWs for me, in fact, in my student list, the 50%, the five from the 5,000, 70 to 80% are OF students.
Yeah.
Are OF students, right? OF students. Right. So yeah, they are more bullish and they are more active and aggressive to really become a CEO, a champion entrepreneur online. Because they can do it, right? They can do it. They can just give like 30 minutes an hour of their time every day. And yeah, they see some changes. In fact, as I was telling you, she joined me as a student investing. Her tuition is just 499 pesos or less than $10. Right now, she's managing her ZY business, online clothing, back in Iloilo, of which I think she's now becoming a gold member with a 50,000, 100,000 investment coming from that 499 enrollment. So she was able to turn it around, and we are true to our mission that you go into the school as a student and you will come out as an entrepreneur.
That's great.
Yep.
That is so great to hear.
So great, really.
So why don't we do that? Why don't we get a little quick breakdown of what are all the avenues? So we've got the academy, the 3 levels of the academy.
Yes.
And then you were talking about a MasterClass Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Am I correct?
Yeah, actually, Lee, with the 499 pesos, because one masterclass course is 499 pesos, right? One masterclass course. Then, if you get 2 courses, so we are looking at 799 pesos. But if you get the full 3 course, it's 999 pesos only for a year. So it comes with all the learning videos, the assessments, and certification. And not only that, you can attend the Tuesdays and Thursday classes for free for a year. Just imagine that. That's how affordable. We made it more affordable because we want you to have that confidence that it's not yet too late. Oh, I don't have that kind of education. No, you don't need it because we saw it. We made it happen. We already have a framework, a methodology, and really, on top of education, this is more of the enablement for each one of you. So come and join us, and every Tuesdays and Thursdays, watch the replays and all. But it's worth your time. It will add value to us. It will add value to each one of us.
That's great. That's great. All right, Jonathan, we're going to take one more break, but let's come back and we'll definitely talk. We're going to talk hopes and dreams. Sound
yes,
good?
Of course. Of course.
Let's go take this commercial break. You guys are watching Foreign Affairs on the new channel. Hello, everybody. You're watching Foreign Affairs on the new channel. We are having a great discussion with Coach Jonathan from the Academy. teaching people entrepreneurial skills, how to become CEOs with great skills and a great leverage and angle to have great success. Jonathan, please come back. Coach Jonathan, come on out, Coach.
Yes, yeah.
So as I mentioned before, let's talk about the hopes and dreams. You mentioned it earlier, 100,000 students this year. What are you projecting for? What, apart from the 100,000, what's the big picture on this?
Okay, the big picture really, Lee, is for each student to become a coach themselves. It's like giving back, right? Like, let's say us, we are so fortunate that we have been educated, but you see seldom that we go back to the institution who modestly aside and with all humility, who brought us where we are right now. Our brand, who we are. Seldom. That's why it's always, in my heart to really go back. That's why my wife is always, is so amazed every time I told her, like, oh, that was my classmate when I was in kinder. That was my classmate in high school. Oh, that was my teacher. That was, because I always have this kind of gratefulness to these educators who have helped me to who am I right now, or where I am right now. So the big picture is, the goal is for you to be educated, to be equipped and empowered to become an entrepreneur and apply all the learnings that you had with the academy. But the bigger picture is, once you made it there, you became successful, go back to the academy and become a coach. Go back to the academy and become a coach and be an inspiration. Because you see, Lee, just imagine a domestic helper, let's say in Hong Kong. A domestic helper will always say that, oh, I'm just a domestic helper. I will no longer, move forward and make, have a lifestyle just like the rich and the famous, whatever. But you see, now they are so confident, and they're now the ones teaching their fellow domestic helpers that it can happen. And not just say it can happen and motivate them, but the academy has provided them a framework and a methodology, so that will be succession. Because you see, it's always about succession. You can be successful. You are a phenomenon. We always say you are phenomenal. You cannot say that I'm just a buko vendor right now, I'm a multimillionaire. So can you. It's not as easy as that. But with the academy, what we can do is make a framework for you as a buko vendor and teach it in the academy, the framework, and then there is succession. Meaning to say, even though if we grow older, there will be someone who will succeed in the business that we started. Because you see, here in the Philippines, that's always the pitfall. Succession is one thing. That's why I'm so proud of my Chinese colleagues and clients that they always look at succession. You see, they will enroll their students in a nice school, but with the mindset that once you graduate, you go back to our business and manage the business.
Yes.
Common Filipino is you be educated, so you'll get a good job. The academy is changing the game. And I hope you can also be with us, because now that you are here in the Philippines, we have millions to reach out. We have millions to really educate, equip, and enable. And this country, I am very, very much sure, of course, God willing, I'm so excited that this country will be great again, because OFWs are back together with their families doing businesses, and not only doing businesses, but coaching others to become entrepreneurs as well. That's the biggest picture that I'm praying that I will see in my lifetime.
That's great. Love the message, Jonathan, and love the charisma and emotion that you have. It's good to see that, because I think, personally, as a foreigner, a lot of people say Filipinos are really nice. I think Filipinos are really they love to emote. They love the feelings. They love the emotions, feelingueros. And to see a Filipino who actually takes pride in a great future is something that's needed and something that's really appreciated. That's good to see. You gotta put that carrot out in front of, whether it's yourself or it's your 5,000 person company. You got to put a carrot out there somewhere for that horse to chase. And like, you're doing that. That's such a great thing to see. So my hat's off to you, Jonathan.
Thank you so
You're
much.
truly on a noble mission, and you're truly getting the job done. I'm going to be honest. I usually don't even get pop-up comments on my show, and we've already gotten about 20 on this episode just because of you. So you're obviously making an effect. We're seeing the residual benefits.
Lee,
on my show.
We are, Lee. That's why us as broadcasters or us as like doing this, let's not just do this just to think highly of ourselves. Let's use this platform. What I'm thinking now is let's outlast this COVID. COVID will not be gone. It could even multiply, but let's move faster than COVID. And the only way to do this is use this digital platform to not just empower or encourage people. They know that. But to really have a step-by-step guidance, a framework, a methodology, and we can make it happen for surely. And I thank you for your show, because my hats off always to foreigners like you or expats like you who fell in love with my country, our country, because there's a lot here, Lee. This is a very, very great. This is a very, very great country, and leadership has to start from within. And it's all about entrepreneurial leadership. It's about ownership. If you want to be free in your own country, then let's start minding our own business, building our own empire, and together with us, rest assured we're here to help you and guide you. In fact, we're just here to align you. You are better than us. All we need to do is tell you, hey, you're doing this. Maybe you should just do this. Or maybe you're doing this. Oh, it's high time that you do this. Now, will it work? I do not know, unless you venture into it. Because what my point is, I may say it's true because it happened to me and I did it and it worked. It might not work for you. Same's true with, it might not work for me, but it worked for you. So what's the key here? Let's meet, let's collaborate, and let's connect, and make it happen. We can make it happen for sure. We can make it happen.
Right on. I love that. If you want to have success, you just got to mind your own business. And that's beautifully said. I love that play on words. So now we know where it's heading. We know, the passion that's behind it, the opportunity that's there for people. Jonathan, please take the stage, hype it up. I believe you even have a video for us, invitation. So
Sure.
please, the floor is yours. It's hype
Yes.
time. You get hype your
Lee,
game,
thank
my
you.
man. You do your thing.
Again, Lee,
you.
thank you again for inviting me. Lloyd, it's been a long time. We haven't seen each other, bro, for 2 or 3 years. Congratulations in this very, very great venture of yours. And to the host, of course, I know some of them. Congratulations. Now, this coming March 27, Coach Jonathan and the Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship in this new digital economy, is going to launch. This is what you've been waiting for. Coach John, we want to become a digital entrepreneur. We want to become a digital entrepreneurial brand in this new economy. So please join us March 27. This is a very, very special event for only 499 pesos together with PMCM Events. We are launching this coming March 27. So it's a 2-hour program. It's all about digital entrepreneurship. It's time to digitalize your product, be it a real estate, a food business. There's a way to digitalize it, match it with the right platform, and digitalize your process. So join us. And of course, if you haven't registered yet, please register for free in some of other courses. But of course, the 3 masterclasses is there for you, and for you to pivot and become a digital entrepreneurial brand, a champion entrepreneur online, a CEO in this new economy. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat, and keep on watching Foreign Affairs. Congratulations, Lee.
Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. And where can people reach you directly? What are your social medias?
Yeah, CoachJonathan.net. So go to CoachJonathan.net. Everything is there. You can watch free videos. Register now for free. I will give you free learning programs, videos. At least you know what to expect when you enroll. Right? You know what to expect when you enroll. And that enrollment will give you a year access, unlimited learning programs, live videos. You can join us from time to time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for being here today. Really appreciate your time, and even more so appreciate your wisdom your charisma, your passion for this topic, and especially your passion for your fellow kababayans. You're the people. That's what we're all about, raising all boats here. So thank you, sir, for being here. Appreciate your time, and God bless. Godspeed. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, Lee. God bless you.
Take care. Well, just simply awesome. That's the fun part of this gig is getting to interview people with that kind of passion, that kind of drive, and that kind of wisdom to compart with other people. And Coach Jonathan is one of the ones that's doing it, and doing it at such a high level and having such a positive effect. And that's only going to make more positive effects for everyone else around those people and around us that are here on the show. So thank you, all of you guys, for watching today. That has been this episode of Foreign Affairs. Not going to let you get away without telling you, there's this little food company that we do on the side around here called Oakley Food Products. I highly recommend you check it out. I had to bring out some of the bottles today because, it ain't an episode without a couple bottles of suka around. But I just want to tell everyone, those of you that are in the Philippines, we are delivering throughout Metro Manila, and we're delivering to the provinces, and we can do COD. Those of you that are abroad, we will get to you. Just wait for it. You can find us at Oakley Foods, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Let's try this again. All right, at Oakley Food Products. That is both on Facebook and on Instagram. And then we also just launched oakleyfoods.com. It's our website where you can order directly from that. We will have finance, payments, and shipping integrated very, very soon. But for now, you can send us your orders through there. You can see all of the products listed and order directly from there. And also check out our cooking vlog, Oakley Cooking, at Oakley Cooking on Instagram, but it's also on YouTube, Oakley Cooking Official. And you can reach me directly at Lee O'Brien on both Instagram and Facebook. That has been this episode of Foreign Affairs. I hope you guys either take that information that Jonathan shared with you and put it to use, or at least take a little side order, a little spoonful of his charisma, and apply it to something in your life. It's probably going to pay off dividends in many ways. And if not, take a little spoonful and share it with someone in your life. Maybe they can use it. I appreciate you guys watching Foreign Affairs. I will see you next week. You've been watching the new channel where we help you to see the new you.
Hi, good morning everyone. This is Coach John of the Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship in this new digital economy. I'd like to invite you, inaanyayahan kita this coming March 27, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 12 noon as we launch the newest masterclass called the Digital Entrepreneurship. So don't miss this very exciting engagement and workshop as organized by PMCM Events. Learn how to digitalize your product, learn how to create a digital platform, and of course, develop and design your digital process. See us and become a digital entrep brand in this new economy. God bless you, and see you on March 27, 2021.